Let's start the video with a brief introduction of the semiconductor. A semiconductor is a material that is made from silicon, germanium, or compounds such as gallium arsenide. Semiconductor is made so that it can be used as a material for making microchips for an integrated circuit. The microchip is the brain of all electronic devices. It is used in every single electronic device. For example, in smartphone, watches, automobile industry, defense sector, in medical devices, in kitchen equipment, in air conditioner, in microwave, in refrigerator, in gaming industry, and many more. Semiconductor function: switching, energy conversion, current passing, heat and light reaction, calculation, and so on. Typically, company's revenue is based on 4 types of model. Number 1, FABLESS foundry model. Second, integrated device manufacturer. Third, outsourced semiconductor assembly and test. Fourth, semiconductor fabrication plant. Before proceeding further, it's important to know the meaning of some technical terms like fab, where integrated circuits are manufactured, or fab means manufacturing. Fab is also called a fabrication, whereas fabless means to design. Outsourcing means buying product from third parties to make the final product. I understand that remembering all these words is a difficult task. It was not easy for me either. So please subscribe. Don't think too much. Write a note or take a screenshot, because it is essential to know all these terms and models to understand the semiconductor industry. Either you are an investor or just curious about the semiconductor industries. All of these are important to you. The first one is FABLESS foundry model. In this model, companies design and sell hardware and semiconductor chips, but don't manufacture silicon wafers or chips themselves. Companies outsource their fabrication to a specialized manufacturer called a semiconductor foundry. Examples are NVIDIA, Qualcomm, AMD. Second is semiconductor fabrication plant. It is famous as fab. Unlike the fabless foundry model, integrated circuits are built in. On the other hand, when companies make integrated circuits not for themselves but for others, it is called pure play semiconductor foundry, like TSMC, UMC. Third is integrated device manufacturers, companies that do all the tasks themselves. For example, manufacturing, designing, and assembling of integrated circuits like Intel, Samsung, and Texas. Last but not least is outsourced semiconductor assembly and testing. The assembling, testing, and packaging of microchips comes under this model, like ASE Group, PowerTech. Let's understand these types with the help of chart in a smooth way. Let's talk about demand of microchip in our country. Our government is making tremendous efforts to make a self-reliant India, but the US, Taiwan, South Korea, and China are still ahead in semiconductor industry. Our country's demand is met by imports. Our current demand is approximately $2 billion and is expected to grow to about $100 billion by 2025. In 2020, India spent about $15 billion on electronic imports, which include China and Hong Kong, up 40% and 26% respectively. India's trade deficit or negative trade balance is around 10,000 million. If we compare our country with others in terms of making integrated circuits, it surprises us. There are only two semiconductor fabrication plants in India and a unit of DRDO, which manufactures silicon chips for defense and space. These are not for commercial use. We want India to become a semiconductor manufacturing hub with designing and assembling. Now, India is limited to design only, which is not completely satisfactory for India has a distinct advantage in chip design. About 20,000 engineers are engaged in chip designing in India. Roughly 2,000 chips are designed every year. IDMS has set up design center across the country. Similarly, Intel, Micron and Samsung are also operating in India. That's good news for everyone. I would like to discuss with you an achievement of our engineers. I can't stop myself. In 2011, Hyderabad Design Services entity, Photronics, completed the first 28 nanometer design chip, although Taiwan has made a 10 nanometer microchip, which cuts down on the efforts of our engineers. But I believe little drops of water make the mighty ocean. Back to the point, India completely needs to work on two things. First, India needs to become a manufacturing, designing, packaging, and testing hub so that it could fulfill the demand of country first within country. There is no need to import. The more use of electronic components, the faster the demand for integrated circuits will grow. After fulfilling the demand of the country, secondly, we can export outside the country as it will be good for economy of our country. Let's look at the participation of other countries in the semiconductor industry. Taiwan and South Korea are the largest player in semiconductor contract manufacturing. Taiwan has achieved a milestone of manufacturing the smallest chip known sub-10 nanometer processor. The US and China have not been able to make this possible so far. Chip production in Taiwan and South Korea accounts for 92% and 8% respectively. Every company wants to use as small a chip as possible. The United States and China also play an important role in chip designing, manufacturing, intellectual property, and assembling and testing, respectively. Relying only on itself for the supply of microchips is an uphill task for each country. Each country is specialized in a different process. For example, Taiwan is the largest chip maker. 63% of the global chip supply is met by Taiwan. This is a huge data. Whereas USA is a major player in semiconductor design. The United States dominates the market with 50% of the total semiconductor production. Interestingly, USA generates 48% of the revenue from the global chip industry. By the way, Samsung and Intel are giving tough competition to TSMC in advanced logic chip manufacturing. TSMC is the world leader. I think you all want to know about China. China specializes in the packaging and testing of integrated circuits. After assembling and testing, China imports these semiconductors to all over the world. Now, India's turn. India produces about 2000 chips every year. India is a designing hub for all profit making companies. Moreover, China is the largest producer of silicon. In contrast, India has two units that manufacture silicon metals. The rest of the demand is met by imports. The demand and supply gap is huge. There is a list that is flashing on your screen. I try to show the kind of companies that are already leading the market in semiconductor industry by market share, nation, and models. When I was gathering all this information for my video, one strange thing I noticed is that the share price of all big companies like TSMC, Intel, UMC is falling from last 5 days, while the demand of chip is increasing day by day. If anyone knows the reason, please let me know in the comment. Taiwan has already captured the semiconductor global market with around 92% market share. TFM, TSMC and UMC MediaTek took first, second and fourth place as the largest contract chip maker. If anyone wants to invest in microchip market, this is great opportunity. Another good news for investors is that Apple chose TSMC to build the Apple designed 5G modem into the iPhone. In addition, Advanced Micro Devices won the deal to manufacture EP-Wi-Fi chips in Meta data center. If someone like me is interested in investing in shares of Indian companies, Tata Elxsi Limited, ASM Technologies, Hindustan Semiconductor Manufacturing Facility, and Navica Electronics are examples of Indian companies. However, Samsung also set up its first Samsung display factory in Noida, although it is company of South Korea. If you all want to know more than one profitable companies, then all of you have to keep an eye on the PLI scheme. Let's see which company will get incentives from the government under the PLI scheme. This is a lucrative opportunity for every company. It's a humble request to all of you to read all the important documents before investing in any corporation. Just as the money is yours, the risk is yours too. Let's know the pros and cons of semiconductor industry. Advantage of semiconductor industry. Number 1. The more people will get used to electronic devices, the more the use of integrated circuits will increase. For example, the demand for laptops, personal computers, and smartphones had increased due to the pandemic. As a result, the demand for microchips had also increased. Hence, we all are facing semiconductor crisis. It's an undeniable fact that the use of electronic products in our daily life will increase exponentially. This proves the industry will flourish more. Secondly, The current chip crisis has drawn the attention of the government to this sector. Due to the chip crisis, the government of each country is coming up with new attractive schemes allowing FDI and providing financial benefits so that they can attract big companies to set up their subsidiaries in their country. As a result, the country will not only become self-reliant but will also export integrated circuits to other countries. We all are aware of India's PLI scheme. USA is also doing same. It seems to be the cherry on the cake for every third. This industry comprises of many models and processes such as fabless model, pure play fabrication plant, IDM, and OSAT. Similarly, it includes packaging, designing, fabrication, research, development, assembly, wafers, and more. So, we all have huge opportunities. We can invest in any companies as per our interest and knowledge. Last, we have a lot of options like TSMC, UMC, MediaTek from Taiwan, and Intel, Qualcomm, Broadcom, Texas from USA, and Samsung from South Korea, and SMIC from China, and Tata Elxsi Limited from India. Roses with thorns. Weaknesses of the semiconductor industry. Intensive. First one, capital intensive. A huge amount is required, especially for research and development. The cost of chip making is only increasing. The research and development and manufacturing cost of the chip is approximately $540 million. There is always a strict competition among companies to make smaller and cheaper chips as it is the demand of every customer. The initial cost of setting up a unit is estimated at around $1 billion. Second, time consuming. The chip making process takes a long time. For example, production alone would take about 2 years to commence. Third, complicated process. This is quite a complicated process. This includes chip design, automation, electric design, fabrication, assembly, wafers, equipment, silicon, etc. So each country is dependent on the other for its needs. Moreover, understanding this industry is not an easy task. There is a lot of technical information. Last, amount of risk. The company needs to keep its design and technology updated. Most manufacturers are making 14 nanometer chips and upgrading to 10 nanometer chips with the goal of hitting 5 nanometer chips soon. Some are already making 5 nanometer chips like Taiwan. Production linked incentive scheme for semiconductor industry. The Union Cabinet approved financial assistance of rupees 76,000 crore for semiconductor manufacturing and display board production. The government is going to spend it in the next 5-6 years. And the objective of this program is to provide attractive incentives support to companies which are engaged in silicon semiconductors, fabs, display, and silicon photonics. One more effort of government. The government intends to collaborate with the state government to set up high-tech clusters, land, semiconductor grade, water, high-quality power, logistics, and research ecosystem to promote semiconductor manufacturing in the country. These companies are eligible for PLI scheme, which have technology, ability to execute, have high capital, resources, and many more. There are more possibilities that Tata Elxsi Limited, Foxconn, Vedanta, and Intel can fill the forms to set up their subsidiaries in India under the PLI scheme. Gujarat, Haryana, and UP are seen as viable destinations for companies.